Good morning. How are
I am
you?
excellent, Natasha. Oh, sorry, I got to ask you, why should businesses consider adopting the 4-day work week?
Well, you know what? Employees are just simply burned out. And we are seeing that as part of the great resignation. Employees are leaving their jobs in search for just wellness, to pursue their passions, spend more times with their family, and do things that they really enjoy. For too long, they've been chasing their career, they're burned out, and this 4-day work week may just be the answer to retaining your employees.
So now, Natasha, if we shift to the 4-day work week, how does this help a worker's well-being?
Absolutely. So, look, here's the cool thing about the 4-day work week, at least as it's being rolled out in the UK. They are not making you work 40 hours in those 4 days where you're doing a 10-hour day. You're working this just 32 hours, but your salary remains the same as if you've worked 40 hours. So essentially, you're getting the same pay, but you're working less time. And that's what employees are looking for. Now, I have a whole day to do things like pursue my mental health, spend time with my family, et cetera, without worrying about losing money, which is always at the top of people's minds.
Now, Natasha, that seems counterintuitive as a business owner. I'm going to pay my people the same, but have them work less. So what's the benefit to a business?
Absolutely. As I said, we're in the middle of the great resignation. We lost more employees in November of 2021 than we ever had from a voluntary basis. So, what you're seeing is you're seeing a lot of employers who are having to shut down their businesses some days because they don't have enough labor, either due to the great resignation or due to COVID. You're seeing that constant turnover. It takes thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to train new employees. So if you're able to retain your current employees, what we've seen when they've rolled this out in other countries, such as Ireland and Iceland, they saw productivity go up, they saw engagement go up, and they didn't lose any money. They came out ahead. So this works.
Now, aside from productivity and engagement, do you see this having any effect on, say, gender equality or the environment?
Absolutely, because what we saw during the COVID crisis was more working mothers having to leave the workforce more than any other demographic. And what that was going to do is to contribute to the ongoing pay inequity as it relates to gender. Now that I have that extra time to do some of my home duties due to that extra day without losing my pay, then we can finally move forward to closing that pay gap.
All right, so there's a few industries here in the United States, let's say teachers or, even the healthcare. How does that work for
Yes.
those environments?
Yeah, so in those environments, many of those are union environments. So, of course, you would have to put things in place where after you work that 32 hours, then you would be paid at the overtime rate, right? So you actually that fifth day would be paid more money, that time and a half. And they can do that. If employers need to do that in order to keep their labor, to keep their businesses going, then that's what we would put in place is that you're paid instead of being paid overtime after 40 hours, you're being paid overtime after the 32 hours.
All right, the biggest question, Natasha, how do I sign up? How do I get my company to do this? Because I'm all over it.
I'm so I'm so glad you asked because guess what? I've got great news. There are a few Democrats in Congress that have posed actually legislation for this 4-day work week. So write your congressman, tell them you support this legislation. This could be part of the answer to the problems that we're having with our economy right now, with our supply chain shortages, labor shortages. So write your congressman and tell them to support the 4-day work week.
I love it. Natasha Bowman, thank you so much for joining me and sharing all of that with us.
Oh, pleasure to be here. Thanks so much.
If you're looking for a fun and delicious way to add a kick to your baking, then stay with us because we've got a unique idea coming up in